Good morning. Hi, everyone. I'm a little minute late. I apologize for not being right on time. I am a stickler for being on time, and I don't know. I had to check my calendar, make sure it wasn't a Monday, because if it can go wrong, it's been going wrong this morning. That's all right. It is all good. All good things. In fact, not just, in general good things, but oh, I have some fun stuff to share with you guys today. I'm so excited. So we at Jessie James Beads have been sitting on this for a little while. Just kind of, you keep something in your back pocket until you're ready to bring it out, and I'm so excited. One of my most favorite things in jewelry is leather. I love leather. Leather and hemp are two of my all-time favorite things to use with jewelry, and part of the reason I think that I like it so much is because when you start seeing leather and you start seeing hemp and you start seeing like cotton cords in jewelry, you know that the weather is changing, right? You know that that kind of signifies like warmer days. I love it. It's so exciting. So today's project is an easy one, but I'm showing off these amazing new leather pieces that are available at Jessie James Beads, like literally just dropped a minute ago. And there are clasps, there are sliders. Oh, and it's so good. It's so good. You guys, the quality of this leather is top notch, and it's beautiful stuff. I cannot wait to show it to you. Hi, Randy. Hi, Joan. Good morning. So happy to see you. Oh, and there's Jane. It's not a party until Jane gets here. That's just the way it is. Oh my gosh. Joan, behave yourself. So, yeah, this is a fun one. This is an easy project, right? I'm going to show you guys how easy these bracelets are to put together. And let me just give you kind of like a rundown of what you're going to get when you are shopping on the leather. So you're going to get 8 inches of the leather, which is enough to make a bracelet for most everybody. And you also want to buy the clasp that goes with it, because this is a special kind of clasp that is specifically made. Let me just show you a piece of the leather. This is just one of the pieces that are available, okay? And I've already cut mine down to size. This is the one that we're going to be using today. But you have to have a special clasp to go on the end of this, right? It has to be a clasp where you can slide that leather in there, and which is exactly what we're going to do. So you want to be sure that if you pick up the leather, you pick up the clasp as well. The reason that I'm telling you this is because you're going to get 8 inches of the leather, but you are also going to like take into consideration that your clasp is going to also give you, let's see, just to be sure, I'm pretty sure it's an inch. It's a little less than an inch. So 3/4 of an inch is how long your clasp is going to be too. So you're looking at 8 inches of leather plus 3/4 of an inch. So almost 9 full inches to work with. That's going to accommodate most everybody, including men. So that's plenty of leather to work with. And there are these really awesome slides that slide right on as well, which is super, super cool. This one is the Little Mermaid. I'm going to show you how to put this together. So this one, you can get the Little Mermaid clasp and the slider and then the piece of leather and make yourself an easy but really cute bracelet. These also make really good gifts. So like we've got things coming up, you guys. Mother's Day is coming up. Easter is just right around the corner, so if you're looking for something a little bit extra, right, to show off, this is going to be that. So I'm going to show you some of the pieces of leather. We're going to put together 2 bracelets, one super easy, and then the second one, we're going to kind of dress it up a little bit with some beads and some wire, just to show you like the versatility that is there for this style of bracelet. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to show you. Okay, so before I flip you around, I know it really makes no difference to you guys, but it totally bothers me. So right before I got started today, I busted my tripod. Like, I was just minding my own business. I went to adjust the iPad and it just snapped. I was so mad. So we're back to literally the brick, the one, you guys will know it when you see it. The foot of it is just like this big piece of wood. So I apologize for the big piece of wood that's going to be in the shot. I'm going to replace it as soon as I can. Doesn't make me happy at all, but you guys don't care. All right, so let's get down to it, shall we? Gonna take me a minute to get used to using this guy again. It's been a while, so let me adjust just a little bit. I don't want you guys to, this guy gets a little loose. That's part of the reason that I don't like it, is I'm afraid you guys are all floppy. I don't want you to be floppy. All right, so give me just a second. I'm gonna get you nice and ready to go. All right, so let's cross our fingers. Everything works. Okay, so I cannot wait to show you. I'm so excited. I know I'm crazy excited about this stuff, but it's so pretty, you guys. All right, so let me show you. This is the piece. This is Mustang Brown. This is the piece we're going to use for the bracelet that we use the wire on. Look how pretty. And you can see it has that raised pattern that's on it. It's absolutely beautiful stuff, and you can tell just by feeling it. It's nice and sturdy. Love this stuff. So this is one of the options. I don't have all of the options, but I am going to show you the ones that I do have, okay? So the next option for you is going to be this teal color. This is the one we're going to use with the Little Mermaid slide. It is like the most luxurious. It's so soft, and the color on this is amazing. It's really, really beautiful. I hope that it's coming across on camera just how beautiful this is. I love this. Aw, Dawn, happy birthday, Dawn. All right, Rainbow Rhapsody. This is one of my favorites out of all of them just because I love all of the colors that are here. This is definitely a springtime piece of leather. Love this. Really, really beautiful. So not only does it have the colors, but it also has the texture to it as well. So this has like extra dimension to it. It's really, really good stuff. Love that. All right, let's see. What else have I got for you? Whoops. I've got West Coast Tan. So this one, this will be right up your alley, Joan. This one has the studs on it. I hope you're laughing, Joan. You know I'm teasing you, but I love this. This is really a beautiful color. This is like a perfect spring kind of brown. Really, really awesome. And the last piece that I've got to show you, and this is not the last that there is. There are a couple more, but this is Bright and Sunny, and this absolutely is Bright and Sunny. Oh, and it matches the shirt I have on today. I didn't even realize it. So this is kind of like a brown mustardy, just, I don't know, and it's so, so soft. And really, really just beautiful. This one is much softer than the others. This one has very much that suede feel to it, but they're all gonna work exactly the same way. So yeah, really, really cool. And there are others, so definitely check that out. You can follow the link that I have added for you guys. Check all those out. I'm gonna show you these, or not these, but this. This is the clasp that we're gonna use with this teal color. Okay, and our little mermaid slide that we're going to slide on. So let's do this one real quick, and then we'll move on to the other one. Julie says, I keep missing these. What day is it? What time is it? I think we're all kind of feeling it that way. It's like, it's March 79th, right? I've been seeing that going around on Facebook. It is March 79th. That's definitely how it feels. All right, so the sliders are really, really easy to use, and there is a, let's see, there's a mermaid and then a sunburst. I'm going to show you the sunburst on the brown leather, but super, super easy to use. So you just want to slide this on there. See how easy that works, right? Just slide it through, just like that, and then you just want to bring it to the middle. It's going to slide around. So you've got lots of movement, and it's just so pretty, right? This is just perfect for summertime. I'm just, like I said at the beginning, you guys, I am really a huge fan of leather and hemp and all things that are warm weather related, and that's how I feel about this. This is like very symbolic for me for the start of warmer days. All right, so to use the clasps, you can see how easily the pieces of leather just kind of slide right in there. but you don't crimp it or anything like that. So we are going to have to use just a little bit of super glue for this. And you can just use straight super glue. That's what I'm using. I'm just using crazy glue for crafts, and I like it because it has that little tip on it, but you use whatever you want to use. So basically what you want to do is you just want to fill up your little clasp section here with a little bit of glue, and honestly it does not take a lot. You just want to be sure, definitely don't overfill it, but you want to be sure that you get the whole thing filled up and not just one side, because nothing is worse than having one side of the leather pop out, and then eventually it pulls both sides out. So make sure you fill it up not fill it up all the way, but you get it coated really well. Slide the end in, and then you just want to sit this to the side, right, and let this dry for a little while. We will go ahead and do the other side too, because it's super easy to do. But then definitely set it to the side. Give it a couple of hours before you wear it, just to be sure that your glue dries. So again, just going to slide that in. Okay, let that sit and dry for a little bit. Be sure that you get the ends slid all the way in there. And what I didn't mention is, obviously you need to cut this down to size. You want to cut this to fit, and again, take into consideration the 3/4 of an inch that the clasp is going to take up. Okay, so take that into consideration with your measurements. You don't want to end up with a bracelet that's too big. Okay, so I'm going to set this one to the side. This is so pretty. Love that. I love that, and I love that the clasp is like mermaid tail, so it all just really goes together really well. Okay, so setting that one to the side, and next we're going to use, we're going to use this Mustang Brown, which I love. So we don't need the glue right this second. We're going to dress this one up with some really beautiful, look at these beads. So I've got some silver rose beads, and we are going to take this one to the next level. Right, Kathy says make sure you get the clasp on right. Not a good thing if you don't, right? You don't want to like have one going one direction and one going the opposite direction. So definitely, you definitely want to be sure you get it glued on there the right way, so that you don't come back to it later when it's dry and you're like, oh no, what have I done? So this is the Sunburst. This one is really pretty too. It kind of has that southwestern feel to it, but still very much summertime. So I'm going to slide this one on to the leather and bring it to the middle, right? And I definitely want this one to be in the middle. And I've already cut my leather, just so that y'all know. I already did that ahead of time. And I have to cut mine pretty short, so I had a lot of leather left over. Okay, so the clasp for this one is gorgeous. Look at this. I thought this was a slider when I first took it out of the package. It's not, it's a clasp, and I love it. Look at that. It's a magnetic clasp, but it's this beautiful sunflower. Is that not awesome? Like, that just screams springtime. And of course your ends are going to slide right in. You're just going to add a little bit of glue to that, slide them in on both sides. But we're not going to do that just yet. We're going to save this till the very end. What we're going to do is we are going to add some of these sweet little, whoops, I can keep them in my lap here. Some of these little rose beads to this. And we're going to use some 22 gauge German style wire for this. You can use whatever you want to. This is just to kind of show you that you can take just a plain leather and really personalize this even further, right? So you pick out the leather, you pick out the slide that you want, you pick out the clasp, but then if you want to, you can dress this up even further, right? So that's what we're going to do. We have about 20 inches of 22 gauge German style wire in silver, and I want to wire wrap my beads onto my bracelet. So to get started, I'm just going to do one side first, and then we'll do the other side. To get started, I want to give myself a little bit of a tail here. And really, you're just kind of making folds more than anything with your wire, right? I'm just kind of wrapping it around the leather about 3 times. And really want to kind of make it off to the side just a little bit, right? About 1/4 of an inch from that slider. And I want to wrap around, I'm going to have about 4 wraps. Okay, so my long end is coming up across the top of the leather. But now the back end, this is going to take a little bit extra work because we don't want to just cut this flush and just leave it, because that is eventually going to get hung on something and poke you, right? So what we're going to do is we're just going to come in with our cutter tool and we're going to cut that nice and flush, right? The tail is nice and flush with the bracelet. But then I also want to come in with my chain nose pliers, or you can use your bent chain nose pliers for this as well. I want to grab that little tail piece, okay, right there. I'm going to grab it in the middle with my chain nose pliers and give it a bend, just like that, okay? So I've just given it a really sharp bend. Now what I want to do is, very carefully using my pliers, I want to take that bend and I want to slide it behind all of those wraps, just like that, okay? Slide that right behind there. And now you can see that little tail sticking out. I'm going to come back in with my cutter tool and snip that off, and it's gone. So now I don't have a tail end of the wire sticking out. It's not going to grab a hold of your skin. It's not going to grab a hold of your clothing. It's nice and secure, okay? So you don't have to worry about it. All right, so we're going to do the same thing with that on the ends as well, but we want to add our beads. So you can do this a bunch of different ways, but I'm going to add mine at an angle. I just kind of like the way that that looks. So I'm going to come to the end of the wire and thread on one of these beautiful little rose beads. And I want it to lay across the leather just like that, right? And then I'm just going to wrap. So I'm just going to make about 3 wraps. Right, and on the 4th one, coming back up kind of at an angle. So we have our first little bead on here. Now, you can do this, like I said, a bunch of different ways. So you could come in and like bend the wire. I would recommend using your chain nose pliers to do that, to make a sharp bend here and a sharp bend here, to really kind of change the way that that bead is going to lay on the leather. You can make it lay however you want to. You can even do it on the side, right, as like a little picot edge if you wanted to. But I like it going like that. So that's how I'm going to do it. But you know what? You play with it and come up with it, whatever makes you happy, right? All of it in general is making me very happy right now. I don't know if you can tell, like my energy is way up. I am really loving the new leather that is available. All right, so I brought down another one of those rose beads, okay? And now I'm going to wrap again. 1, 2, and 3, and then back around to the back, coming across at an angle for the side. So you can come in and kind of pinch your leather together. If you are worried that your wire, not your leather, if you're worried that your wraps are not close enough to the surface of the leather, you can also come in and squeeze down on it with your nylon jaw pliers if you want to. That's going to kind of tighten everything up just a little bit. But honestly, I don't think that it really needs it. You definitely want to have a little bit of give here, because remember, your bracelet is going to be at a curve when you wear it. So you are going to need just a little bit of room there, just so that everything is not too tight, okay? All right, we're going to add one more of these beautiful little rose beads, and then we're going to finish off this edge, and then we will move to the other side. All right, so just bring that rose down onto the surface and then wrap around. And for this one, since this is the end here, I'm going to go around 4 times right at the end. Isn't that pretty? I think that turned out really, really well. I just love it. And it's so simple and easy to do, but just a really fun way to kind of change up the leather. So it's not just plain. Like, there's nothing wrong with the plain. It looks beautiful, right? All by itself. It really, really does. Particularly this one has that nice pattern to it. But if you want to kind of take it to the next level, definitely a fun little little way to dress it up some. And you don't have to use these beads if you don't want to. I saw somebody said seed beads would look really pretty. Any beads would look really, really awesome with this. Okay, so we're going to finish this end off the exact same way. So our tail end is here. I'm going to trim that tail end so that it is flush with the end of the leather. Okay, and then I'm going to come in with my chain nose pliers, pull it up just a little bit so that you can get a good grip on it. Come to the middle and then give it a sharp turn, just like that. Okay, now you want to kind of pull it back and tuck it underneath all of those wraps, just guiding it down with your pliers. This one got a little too bent, but that's all right. All right, so just tucking that in there, and then you can see that little tail that's sticking out. We want to trim that off. And it's gone. And that is beautifully done. You don't have to worry about that. You don't even feel it. You don't even know it's there. You don't have to worry about it. If you are worried that it's going to work its way out, again, come in with the nylon jaw pliers and just kind of pinch on it just a little bit, but I really don't think you're going to have to worry about it. When you come to the front, it's nice and seamless on the front as well. Kind of adjust your wire, and then we're ready to move on to the other side. So same thing on the other side. I want my wraps to go in the same direction, so take that into consideration. Like if you want your beads to go at an opposite angle, that's going to give you a different look, right? But I want mine to go in the same direction all the way around. So just kind of take that into consideration before you start wrapping your wire around your leather piece. Okay, so again, to get started, we just want 3 good wraps. We want those to be spaced pretty close to the slide. If it's not, you can adjust it a little bit, slide it down so that they're the same on either side as far as distance. That's pretty close. And of course, you can always adjust the slider a little bit too. Okay, now we're going to come to the back and get rid of this tail. So we're just going to trim that off, flush with the side of the leather. Okay, come in with your chain nose pliers, grab that little piece, give it a quick little bend, and then you just want to tuck it underneath your wraps. And it takes a minute to tuck it underneath there. Just be gentle. Don't get frustrated with it. Push it underneath, just like that. Okay, there's our little tail. We're going to trim that off. This trick also kind of keeps you from adding extra glue to your bracelet. I only want the glue to go on the ends. I don't want to have to mess with runny super glue or anything else underneath the bracelet, just because sometimes the glues, depending on what the formula of the glue is, it can make a stain, right? Like a big wet stain, and I don't want that to seep through to the other side. So tucking your ends in is really going to help you avoid any kind of unnecessary, you know, stains or changes to your leather. You want to take care of it. You don't want it to look like a hot mess. You know, you think you've got it good, and then you come back to it when it's dry and you've got this big stain on it. That's no fun. All right, so bringing in another one of our beads, just laying that on the surface of the leather and then wrapping around. And then we're ready for the next one. I'm going to straighten my wire out a little bit. All right, going to thread that on. So Melinda, it's not sold by the foot. You get 8 inches of this when you buy the leather pieces. So there's another one of our beads. Just hold it onto the surface, wrap around. Okay, straighten out the wire a little bit. And then we are ready to add our last bead. I know, right? Suzanne says this would be great for a man too. I completely agree. And the 8 full inches of leather plus the 3/4 of an inch for the clasp, that's going to fit a wide variety of wrists, including men. And I double checked it on my husband. He has a large wrist. I have like a teeny beanie wrist, but he has a really large wrist, and that 8 inches with the addition of the clasp was just enough to go around his. So you're really gonna be able to create bracelets for everybody, and leather on men looks really, really good. Of course, leather looks good on everybody, and let's be honest about it. You can't beat it. All right, going around, and we're going around an extra time since we're right here at the end. All right, so I'm going to come in with my cutter tool, trim that wire right with the edge. Melissa says, been looking for some good ideas for the guys. This is a good one. This is a good one. They might not want roses, but you never know, you know. But this starburst, like, this is very gender neutral, right? I think anybody can wear that, and it looks amazing. And that's the thing about leather. It really it flatters everybody. Love it. All right, so coming in with my chain nose pliers right here at the end. We're almost finished, you guys. We're going to bend that just like that, okay? And then we're going to tuck that under. Squeeze it down, give it a pull from the other side. There's our little tail, and we want to trim that off. All right, and that's it. All of the wire wrapping is done. Look how pretty that is. I love it. I think that is absolutely beautiful. Very springtime appropriate, right? I love it. It just makes me really, really happy for some reason. And now we're going to add that beautiful sunflower clasp. This is like the icing on the cake for this one. I cannot get over this. Meredith said this is the best clasp ever. It totally is. This clasp is awesome. And it's really, really, that's a strong magnet too. And the quality on this is like superb. It's really heavy duty, like not heavy weight wise, but this is a really good quality clasp. All right, so we're just going to follow the same steps that we did with the other one, our little mermaid bracelet. So I'm just going to take a little bit of super glue and put it on the inside here. You don't want to fill it up too much because you don't want it to spill out over the leather. Whoops. Made a little bubble with mine. Clean that up a little bit. Okay, and then you just want to stick the end of your leather in. Make sure that you get it all the way in there. Had a little bit too much super glue here. So I am going to clean this up just a little bit. I normally would use a Q-tip to kind of clean up the spillage if there's any spillage, but I didn't have one on hand, so I'm just going to use this Kleenex to kind of all right, so there's one end. I'm going to let that dry before I attach the clasp together. And I'm going to fill up the other side. A little bit of glue here. Looks good. Okay. So again, making sure that everything is facing the right direction. Go ahead and slide that leather end right into there. Okay. And then I'm going to let this sit for a little while before I wear it. Okay. I just want to give that super glue a chance to dry really, really well before I put it on and then, you know, actually wear it, because we're a little bit harder on jewelry than I think we realize we are. So you definitely want to let that glue set. But look how pretty that is. Really, really beautiful. So if you are making this for a man who is not partial to the roses, of course, you could use just plain silver beads here, or you could skip the bead altogether and do the wire wraps and then the diagonal wrap, the wraps and the diagonal wrap without anything on it, and it's still going to give you that kind of cool southwestern effect to it. So there was that one, and don't forget about the awesome mermaid one that we made too. This really beautiful mermaid slider. So tons of the leather pieces that are available over on Jesse James Beads. Go check those out. There's a piece of leather like literally for everybody. There are a ton of different colors and styles that are available that are just really, really pretty. And then the sliders and the clasps. So you've got everything that you need to put together a really beautiful bracelet that you can keep for yourself or you can give it away. Just, I don't know. I love it. I think that it's great stuff. I was really excited to get these out to you guys. I think that you guys are really going to love them when you get your hands on them. So Nancy says, was that round or half round wire? I was using round wire, but half round wire would lay beautifully on this. So if you've got half round wire, those of you guys who don't know what half round wire is exactly what it sounds like it is. So it's got that rounded edge, right, for the surface, but then the back of it is nice and flat, so it will lay down flat on things like flat leather straps. So, all right, that is it, you guys. I'm gonna flip you back around here with this weird tripod. Oh my gosh! Or I'm just gonna hold you in my hand because I just broke that one too. You guys, are you sure it's not Monday? It is officially like the 700th Monday in a row. So I apologize for that. Oh my, what a mess. I hope you guys though have enjoyed today's project. I thought it was a lot of fun. I think you guys are gonna really love all of the leather pieces that are available. Check them out. Check out the sliders and the clasps and grab those together, right? There's nothing worse than getting the leather and realizing, oh, I completely forgot. How am I going to finish this off? So the clasps are the perfect way to finish them off. They fit beautifully. All the measuring's been done for you already. So yeah, that's it, you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day. You guys, we're going to get through this crazy business, right? There is going to be a light at the end of the tunnel. And in the meantime, we have each other. So if you need anything from me, don't hesitate to reach out. If you've got project questions, let me know. I will be with you guys tomorrow on Sara Ellis Designs at 1 p.m. with another fun project for you guys. And you can catch me here next week, Monday Maker, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And then, of course, on Thursdays, same time, same place. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day. And I will see you guys soon. Bye, guys.